AI enterprise architecture is like a city master plan for business. At the foundation, we have AI infrastructure. It includes the server and the cloud that powers everything. Then comes the technology tools that keeps systems running, followed by applications where AI meets people and information architecture that organizes data like water and electricity in a city. Above all sits business architecture, ensuring AI delivers value, not just technology. Holding this all together is AI governance, the rules of the road, supported by AI security to guard against threats and AI risk management to keep operations safe and compliant. With this structure, AI moves from a scattered experiment to trusted strategic value. It's not just about smarter systems, it's about building future ready organizations grounded in trust. Good morning. This is your host, Savit Vittal Salian. This is part 2 of the AI Enterprise Architecture series. In this part, we look at the foundations of AI Enterprise Architecture. Our original agenda is as shown. We'll stick to this agenda in this series, covering each sections. For this specific part, we'll be looking at the conceptual model of the layered AIEA, which includes the base, the layers, the governance, and the enablers. Then we'll look at the principles of modularity, interoperability, scalability, and explainability. We'll do a comparison with classical enterprise architecture model, and then we'll look at roles of emerging standards, which could be NIST, EU AI Act, or ISO, or OECD principle. Let's start the journey. Welcome again. The conceptual model of AI enterprise architecture. AI enterprise architecture is not simply an extension of the traditional enterprise architecture. It is a reorientation of architectural thinking to account for AI's unique life cycle, ethical challenges, and strategic impact. The conceptual model can be visualized as a layered pyramid. It has a foundation, a middle layer, a top layer, and cross cutting layers. The foundation includes the AI infrastructure architecture, which includes the compute, storage, networking, platforms, etc. The middle layer constitutes AI technologies, applications, information, and business architecture. The top layer is AI governance, which constitutes policies, ethics, compliance, and accountability. The cross-cutting layer constitute the AI security architecture and AI risk management, which is holding and binding all of the layers together. This model emphasizes that AI is not a single technology or function. It is a stack of interdependent capabilities. Just as the OSI model provides a structured view of networking, the AI enterprise architecture layered view ensures every element from a hardware to governance is accounted for. Let's try to understand in a simpler language. AI enterprise architecture is like a layered system. Each layer builds on the other to make sure AI is useful, safe, and aligned with business needs. It has foundation, which is the infra, the middle layer, which is the technology, application, information, and business. And it has a top layer, which is the governance aspect of it. Then there is the binding one, which is cutting across the fabric, which is constituting the security and the risk which are holding all together. From a day to day example perspective, let's take a look at it from a case wherein we are building and running a school. In here, the AI infrastructure, which is analogy here is the school building and the facilities. It has classrooms, electricity, internet, furnitures, etc. Without these, no learning can happen. So that's the infrastructure. The AI technology here is the teaching, the tools, and the methods used, which is textbooks or a whiteboard or a projector or an app. These are like AI frameworks and tools that the teacher uses to teach. So that's the technology aspect. The AI application is the actual class and the activities. The maths lessons, the sports, the music, the debate clubs, etc. These are like AI applications like chatbots or fraud detection or medical AI. The AI information is the knowledge and the curriculum, which includes the syllabus, the notes, the lesson plans, and the study material. In AI, this is the data. It must be correct, should be fair, and is required to be well organized. So that's your AI information. The AI business is the school's vision and the goals. It could be, is the school focused on academics, arts, or all round development? Just like AI must align with the company's business strategy and goals. So that's your AI business aspect of it. Then comes the AI governance. The analogy is the principal and the school board is an equivalent. They set rules, they ensure teachers follow standards and handle inspection. In AI, this is policy, the ethics, and the compliance aspect of it. Then we have the AI security and risk. The analogy is the safety and the emergency system, which includes your fire drills, security guards, health checks, etc. In AI, this means cyber security, the privacy aspect, and the risk management perspective. Key takeaways? Well, just like school needs buildings, tools, class, knowledge, goals, governance, and safety systems to work well, an organization needs AI enterprise architecture's conceptual model to ensure AI is effective, it's ethical, and trustworthy. Now, it is not just about having teachers or equivalent AI model. It's about having the whole system in place. So, the student, or in this case, business or customer, can benefit. So, think of AI enterprise architecture like running a school. The building and the classroom are the infrastructure, the textbook and the teaching methods are the technologies. The actual classes and activities are the applications. The syllabus and the lesson plans are the information. The school's vision, whether it is academic or all round development, is the business strategy. And just like a principal and school board sets rule, AI needs governance. Finally, the security guard and the file drill represents the AI security and risk management. Together, these layers make sure the school or your AI runs smoothly, safely, and with a purpose. I hope this helps set the context. Guiding principles of AI enterprise architecture. AI enterprise architecture is grounded in several architectural principles that distinguishes it from generic IT or digital transformation framework. From a modularity and composability perspective, AI solutions should be modular, allowing reuse of data pipelines, models, APIs, and components. It should support faster innovation without reinventing the wheel. From interoperability perspective, systems must communicate seamlessly across vendors, platforms, and regulatory jurisdictions. Standards such as the Open Neural Network Exchange enable cross framework compatibility. From scalability and elasticity perspective, AI workload require elasticity to handle variable compute need. Cloud native and hybrid approaches are foundational in nature. From transparency and explainability perspective, AI enterprise architecture must embed mechanism for interoperability and model documentation. Black box designs are unacceptable in regulated industries. From a continuous adaptability perspective, AI systems evolve over time. Architecture must support continuous integration, continuous deployment for AI. From security and privacy by design perspective, security policies, security controls, privacy safeguards, and trust mechanism must be built in and not bolted later on. From ethics and accountability perspective, beyond technologies, AI EA embeds ethical responsibility from fairness, inclusiveness, and human oversight perspective. Let's try to understand it at a very generic level now. The guiding principles for AIEA. AIEA is guided by some key principles to make sure AI is useful, safe, fair, and aligned with business goals. Here are some main ones. We'll try to explain it as simple as possible for all to understand, for every student, anyone who is joining new into this field. Say, from business alignment perspective, AI must support real business need and not just be a shiny experiment. From a data as a trusted asset, AI is only as good as the data it learns from. Data must be hence clean, should be fair, and should be reliable. That's the most important part. Reliable data. From a security and risk perspective by design aspect, AI must be protected from misuse, from hacking and bias right from the start. From scalability and flexibility perspective, AI should be able to grow with the business and should be able to adapt to new needs. From governance and accountability perspective, there should be clear rules and oversight is required, and responsibilities for how AI is built and used should be clearly articulated, and responsibility should be assigned appropriately so that in case of any challenges we know where to or who to ask for. From a transparency and trust perspective, people must understand and trust the AI decisions. From ethics and fairness perspective, AI must avoid any discrimination and harmful outcome. Let's try to take a case study or an example, the day to day example. So, like, think of this principle as the house rules that keeps a home safe, happy, and well run. So, the business alignment is actually the family goals. That is, if the family goal is saving for education, most support, spending must support that, not just random purchases. Same with AI, it must support the business strategy. Second is data as a trusted asset. These are your groceries and supplies in your house. The quality of the meal depends on the quality of the groceries. Hence, AI decisions depends on the quality of the data. Security and risk by design. These are your home safety, locking doors, installing smoke alarms, etc. Hence, similarly, AI must have a built in security and risk checks. From scalability and flexibility perspective, this is the family growth. As kids grow, the house rule and routine should adapt. And similarly, AI must also evolve as business needs changes. From a governance accountability perspective, these are parents setting the rules, clear responsibilities, who cooks, who pays the bill, and who handles the chores. In AI, it's clear ownership, ensuring accountability at any given point of time. From transparency and trust, if you look at from that's your open conversation. Family members must trust each other because things are explained clearly. So they trust because it's all explained clearly. In AI, trust grows when systems are transparent and explainable. From an ethics and fairness perspective, these are family values. Rules must be fair for all kids. There is no favoritism. Similarly, AI must also treat everyone fairly without any biases. The key takeaway in this is just like home runs smoothly when guided by a fair, consistent, and practical rules, an organization's AI runs effectively when guided by principles of alignment, trust, fairness, governance, security, and scalability. These principles make sure AI is not only powerful but also safe, ethical, and valuable to everyone it serves. So think of AI enterprise architecture as running a family home. The family goals are like business alignment, everything should support them. Groceries represent data. If they are fresh and healthy, the meals will be good, just like AI decisions. The locks and the smoke alarms are your security and risk protection. As kids grow, the house rules should adapt. That's scalability. Parents setting fair rules is governance, while open conversation builds trust. And just like no child should be treated unfairly, AI must be ethical and fair. These principle keeps home and AI safe, trustworthy, and purposeful. Moving on, let's do some comparison of AI enterprise architecture with classical enterprise architecture framework. Well, traditional EA framework, which could be TOGAF, Zachman, or Federal Enterprise Architecture Framework or FEAF and DODAF, were designed for IT standardization, integration, and governance. AIEA borrows structural discipline from these models but diverge in scope. The focus of TOGAF is business, example, application, data, technology layer. From a AIEA distinction perspective, AIEA extends layers to include AI infrastructure, AI information, and AI governance explicitly. From a Zachman framework perspective, the focus is six, which is what, how, where, who, when, why. These are the six interrogatives. When it comes to AIEA distinction, AIEA reinterprets these through the AI like cycle, which includes who, it is responsible AI rules, and why, which is the ethical justification. From a FEAF DODAF perspective, that is Federal and Defense Planning and Standardization, the focus is in an AIEI perspective, AIEA adapts to dynamic AI systems that evolves beyond fixed planning cycle. In a sense, AIEA builds on the shoulder of classical EA but introduces new construct to handle learning systems, ethics, and global regulatory complexity. So, if you look at it, the classical enterprise architecture like the TOGAF and Zachman or COBIT were built for traditional IT systems, stable, rule based, predictable. Whereas the AI enterprise architecture is designed for intelligent learning systems, which is data driven, evolving, and often unpredictable. So while both focuses on structure and alignment with the business goals, AI enterprise architecture adds new layers of data ethics, continuous learning, explainability, and trust. Let's now look at some day to day examples. So let's start with like owning a library versus uh, learning through a tutor. So in this case, as an example, while we are comparing, the classical EA is the library management aspect. Imagine managing a library. Books are organized neatly by categories, by rules are clear, and the systems are predictable. A book today will still be the same book tomorrow. The librarian ensures order, structure, and accessibility. This is classical enterprise architecture, which is focused on organizing IT systems applications, and processes so they stay stable and predictable. Now let's look at the other side of it, the AI enterprise architecture. This is like running a learning tutor. Now imagine managing a learning tutor. It could be human or digital, who adapts, learns, and changes with every student. The tutor doesn't just repeat information, they learn from the data. They evolve teaching methods and sometimes could make mistakes or show some form of biases. So, you need to monitor their processes. You need to require to ensure their ethical boundaries set, and you need to ensure they teach fairly and consistently. This is artificial intelligence enterprise architecture. It is not just about organizing systems, but also about governing, evolving learning systems that need trust, ethics, fairness, and constant monitoring. Look at a key difference. Well, classical EA is predictable, stable systems. It focuses on IT alignment. It's a one time design, occasionally get updated. The risk is downtime or inefficiency. While it is easy to explain because there are books and records. Whereas in an AI EA, it's adaptive and an evolving system. It focuses on business, ethics, and compliances. It's continuous monitoring and retraining. It requires that. The risk is bias, unfair outcome, reputational damage, and it is harder to explain because of the black box and the AI decisions. The key takeaway in this, classical EA is like managing a library, keeping it organized, accessible, and reliable. AI EA is like managing a learning tutor, ensuring they learn responsibly, they stay fair and follow the rules and build trust. Both need structure, but with AI EA, added governance is required. Ethics need to be set, and oversight is a mandatory aspect because AI systems change and could impact people directly. So think of classical enterprise like and think of like classical enterprise architecture like managing a library. Books are organized, predictable, and the library's job is to keep everything neat and reliable. Now, thinking of AI enterprise architecture is like managing a tutor who learns and adapts with every student. The tutor changes over time, can make mistakes, and even show biases if not guided. So, you need to monitor the progress, set rules, make sure learnings are fair and trustworthy. That's the difference. Classical EA is about order and stability, while AI EA is about guiding intelligent systems that keeps learning and evolving. Let's look at standards and frameworks influencing AI enterprise architectures. AI enterprise architecture does not exist in isolation. They must align with emerging international standards and policy frameworks. Starting off, we have NIST AI Risk Management Framework, which defines risk categories, trustworthiness factors like explainability, fairness, robustness. It guides how enterprise should evaluate and manage AI risk. Then we have ISO IEC AI standard, ISO 22989 or 23894. It provides standardized vocabulary, life cycle process, and risk management practice. Then we have the OECD AI principles of 2019. which emphasizes human centered values, transparency, and accountability. Then you have the EU AI Act of 2024, the first horizontal AI regulation which mandates risk based classifications of AI systems. Then you have the high risk systems requiring stricter compliances. Then you have the India's Digital Personal Data Protection Act or DPDP of 2023. It regulates personal data use in AI training or inference, enforcing consent and accountability. Then you have the Singapore Mass TRM guidelines. It indirectly covers AI within broader technology risk framework or risk management in financial institutions. Then you have the US Executive Order of 2023, which focuses on safety, security, innovation, and responsible AI deployment. Now, by aligning all of these, or rather with these, AIEA ensures that enterprises are globally compliant, locally adaptable, and future proof. Let's try to understand it with some simple explanation. So, standards and frameworks are like rules and the playbooks that guides how organization design and use AI responsibly. In classical enterprise architecture standard, which could be TOGAF, Zachman, Corbett, originally for designed for IT systems. In AI specific standards, we have NIST AI RMF, which helps it makes AI trustworthy and safe. Then you have the ISO series, which is for AI concept and risk management. We have EU AI Act, which is legal rules in Europe for classifying and controlling the AI systems. Then we have the OECD AI principles for global ethical guidelines for AI. Then the DPDP Act or the GDPR or the HIPAA, which is for data protection and privacy laws. Together, these framework and standard influence how AI is built, making sure AI is aligned with business goals, compliant with laws, and trusted by the society. Let's take a day to day example of, say, running a football league. Suppose you are running a football league. The classic enterprise architecture standard is the standard stadium rules. Rules for how stadiums are built, how tickets are issued, how games are scheduled. This is like TOGAF or COBET for IT, making sure systems are structured and reliable. Second, the AI specific standards, which is the games, rules, and referees. The football rules, rule books, the referees, and fair play codes are all the game rules and the referees has to do. This is like your NIST AI RMF, ISO, EU AI Act, which ensures AI plays fair, plays safe, and by the rules. The next are the data protection law, which is equal to players' safety rules. The regulations on helmets, the medical checks, and the age restriction. This is like your GDPR and HIPAA or India's DPDP Act. It is about protecting people's data and their rights. Without these rules, the league would descend into chaos. You would have unsafe games, unfair plays, and a loss of public trust. Key takeaways: standards and frameworks are the rule books and referees of AI. They just ensure AI systems are built correctly as per standards. They play fairly according to standards and they protect people through the protection laws of data. Without them, organization risks unfair, unsafe, and non compliant AI. So, in summary, think of AI enterprise architecture like running a football league. The stadium rules and ticketing systems are like classical frameworks such as TOGAF or COBIT. They keep the structure organized. The rule books and the referees are like your AI standards from NIST, ISO, or EU Act. They make sure the game is fair and safe. And player safety rules like helmet and medical checks are like GDPR and India's DPDP Act, protecting people rights and privacy. Without these standards, the game would be chaotic, unsafe, and unfair. The same is true for AI. Standards and frameworks are what keeps AI structured, trusted, and beneficial. Life cycle alignment. AI enterprise architecture is not static. It evolves with the AI lifecycle, from data collection to model development to deployment and integration or business adoption, finally the oversight. Data collection is about it's handled by the AI information architecture. Model development is supported by AI technology and infrastructure architecture. Deployment and integration is AI application architecture, which ensures operationalization. Business adoption is AI business architecture aligning to solution and strategy. And oversight, AI governance, security, risk management, enforcing accountability. This end to end view prevents the proof of concept traps where AI model exists in silos but never scale to enterprise impact. In simple language, AI EA lifecycle alignment means making sure AI systems are well planned, responsibly built, properly deployed, continuously monitored, and are retired safely when the time comes. Just like any other important system in the organization. It's about aligning every stage of AI life with the enterprise goal, enterprise compliance needs, and trust expectations. Now let's look at a example, a day-to-day example if possible. We try to align to that. It's like think of AI like raising a child. It goes through stages and you need alignment at every step. Planning. This is say pregnancy and the early preparation. Parents plan for a child, which includes finance, home setup, safety. Similarly, in AI, organization plan use cases, infrastructure, and governance before starting. Then we come to the development, that is childhood learning. A child learns values, skills, and habits. Similarly, in AI, this is model training with quality, fair, and trusted data. That's development. Then we move to deployment, which is like going to school and the first job. The child enters the society, applying what they have learned. Similarly, in AI, the model is deployed into the real world application. So that's the deployment aspect. Then we have monitoring, which is teenage and adult supervision if you say. parents and mentor, guide, monitor their behavior, and correct their mistakes. In AI, organizations monitor models for any biases, errors, or any specific drift. Then we have updating, which is continued learning and growth. Adults keep learning new skill to stay relevant. Similarly, AI models are retrained and updated with new data to stay accurate. And finally, the retirement phase or the old age. Eventually, people retire with dignity, passing on the knowledge. AI model too must be retired responsibly, with dignity, with data archived in this case or deleted securely. The key takeaway is just like raising a children requires planning, guidance, monitoring, and safe retirement, managing AI through its life cycle ensures it stays aligned with business goal, which is being purposeful. It stays compliant with laws, which means it is responsible. It is stays trusted by people, so it is fair and ethical. Without life cycle alignment, AI can become like an unguided child, unpredictable, risky, and potentially harmful. So, to start off with it, think about it in summary. Think of AI like raising a child. You start by planning, preparing the home, just like planning AI use cases. Then comes development, where the child learns, just like training AI with quality data. Deployment is like sending them to school or work, applying what they have learned. But you don't stop here. You monitor, you guide, you update them as they grow, just like retraining your AI model. And finally, when it's time, you retire them responsibly. That's AI life cycle management, guiding AI from birth to retirement so it stays useful, safe, and trusted. Organizational role in AIEA. A successful AIEA requires clear responsibilities across layers. You'll have the chief AI officer or head of AI with the who's assigned with the vision, the strategy, the alignment with business. That's the scope for him. The chief data officer has the responsibility of data governance, quality, and ensuring compliance. The chief information security officer would have AI security and trust assigned to him as his role. The AI ML engineer and architect are assigned with the technical infrastructure, with the models and pipelines been assigned to them to take care of. The AI ethics and the risk officers are assigned with ensuring there is oversight, there are bias audits, and regulatory reporting as required to. Then you have enterprise architects, which ensures AIEA integrates with existing AI or ITEA models. These roles highlight that AIEA is not just a technical blueprint, it's an organizational governance model. Let's try to understand with some simple languages and examples. Start with it. To make AI work safely and effectively in an organization, different roles are needed, just like any team or community. Key roles include business leaders, which who define the vision and make sure AI supports the company's goal. Then you have the data scientist and the AI engineer who build and train the models. Then we have data stewards who ensure data is accurate, clean, and ethical. Then you have the AI governance and ethics officer who are there to check fairness, compliance, and accountability. Then you have the security and the risk teams who protect AI from any misuse or biases and attacks. And finally, you have the end user or the employees who use AI responsibly and provide feedback. Let's take an example here. Imagine an organization, AIA, like producing a theater play. The business leader are the producers. They set the purpose of the play, whether it's a comedy or a drama or a musical, and fund it. In AI, they define the business goals and investments. Then you have the data scientists or engineers. The analogy is they are like the script writers and the actors. They write the story and bring it to life. In AI, they are the one who design the model and make them work. Then you have the data stewards. Data stewards are the like the stage crews. They handle the props, the lighting, the sound, making sure everything is in the right place. In AI, they manage and clean the data that drives the systems. Then we have our governance and ethics officer, which is actually the director in the play. They ensure the play follows the vision and rules, and that the message is appropriate. In AI, they ensure fairness, compliance, and ethical use. Then we have the security and the risk team, which are, in analogy, the safety officers. They check for fire exits, emergency plan, and keep the audience safe. In AI, they are the one who protect against attacks, misuse, and system failures. Finally, we have the audience. They experience the play and give feedback. In AI, the customers and employee interact with system, shaping its success or failure if in rare cases that's the case. Key takeaway is just like plays need producer, directors, actors, stage crews, safety officers, and an audience to succeed, AI needs leaders, engineers, data stewards, governance officers, security team, and users working all together. Without these roles, the show or the AI system won't run smoothly, safely, or successfully. So, thinking of it, think of AI enterprise like putting up a theater play. The producer is like a business leadership, setting the vision and funding. The script writers and the actors are the data scientists and engineers. They are creating and performing the model. The stage crews are like data stewards, making sure the props, the data are clean and in place. The director is the governance, ensuring the show follows the rules and the vision. The safety officers are the risk and the risk teams, the security teams, keeping everything safe. And finally, the audience represent the user whose feedback determines success. Just like a play needs every role working together, so does AI. Benefits of establishing an AIEA foundation. Well, it prevents siloed AI initiatives. So it has a holistic integration aspect. It helps in optimizing infrastructure and standardizing process, thus bringing in operational efficiencies. It ensures ethical and legal alignment, thus supporting compliance and trust. AI becomes a driver of business innovation, not just an automation. It brings that required strategic advantage to the table. The foundation enables adoption of new paradigms, could be AI agents or quantum AI, thus making it ready for the future. So, building a strong AI foundation helps organization avoid chaos, save cost, scale easily, stay compliant, build trust, increase value. In detail, it helps in keeping AI projects from becoming disconnected experiments. It helps reduces duplication by using shared tools and infrastructure. It helps to make it easier to grow from small pilots to enterprise wide adoption. It helps ensure AI follows the rules and avoid fines. The foundation gives customer and employee confidence in the AI systems. The AIEA Foundation aligns AI with real business goal, and it is just not a cool tech. Take an example of, say, building a house as an analogy. You have a strong foundation, which is a stability aspect. That is, if the foundation is weak, cracks appear and the house won't last. In AI, strong foundation, which includes your infrastructure, your governance, your data practices, prevent failures later. The next is shared utility from a cost saving perspective. As an analogy, the electricity, the plumbing, and internet are set up once for the whole house. Similarly, in AI, shared infrastructure avoid duplication of tools across departments. So, when the foundations are in place, these are the benefits to start with. The next is trust. That is family, comfort, and safety. Everyone feels safe and confident living in a well built home. In AI, strong foundation builds trust with customers, employee, and regulator. The next is value and which is happy living. The house doesn't need just stand, doesn't just stand. It supports daily life, comfort, and happiness. Similarly, in AI, the foundation ensures the project brings in real business benefit. We looked at the scalable design, which is easy growth. That is, if the house is built with space to expand, adding a new room should be simple. Similarly, in AI, scalable designs allow new use cases without rebuilding everything. From a compliance perspective, this is actually building permits and the safety codes that are required to be followed. Like a house must follow local safety laws, the fire exits, wiring rules. In AI, foundation ensures compliance with GDPR, DBTB Act, or EU Act, if any. The key takeaway, like just like a house needs a solid foundation, utility, safety codes, and design for growth to be livable and lasting, Organizations need strong EA foundation to ensure AI is scalable, safe, compliant, cost efficient, and trusted. Without these foundations, AI efforts risk becoming unstable, costly, or even unsafe. So, now in summary, think of AI like building a house. So, if the foundation is weak, cracks appear and the house won't last. Just like AI projects collapse without a strong infrastructure and governance. Shared utilities like plumbing and electricity save cost just like shared AI platforms do. A well designed house allows you to add new rooms easily, just like scalable AI can grow with new use cases. And just as building codes keeps us home safe and trusted, compliance and ethics keep AI reliable. So, without a solid foundation, both a house or a AI would break. But with solid foundation, both a house and AI stand strong, safe, and valuable for years to come. Challenges in laying the foundations. We will have challenges from as cultural resistance. Business leaders may view AI as a technology and not as a strategic enabler. There would be scarcity of AI architect, risk officers, and governance professionals. So that's skill shortage. Constant evaluation of AI framework and hardware is a major challenge. That's your rapid technology change that's happening. The laws evolve faster than enterprise can adapt. That's the regulatory uncertainty that we have to deal with. Now, balancing innovation with responsible AI deployment is an ethical dilemma that we'll have to deal with. Hence, addressing these require executive buy-in, capability building, and continuous monitoring. Look at from another side at a simple interpretation. When organizations try to build AI foundation, they often face challenges like data messiness, which is data is scattered, incomplete, or biased. There is high cost for setting up infrastructure, tool, and talent, which are expensive. We have skill gaps wherein we lack experts in this field of AI or data and governance. There is a serious resistance to change. The teams may fear or resist adapting AI. Then there would be compliance confusion. So many different laws GDPR, DPDP, EU Act, country laws, which makes it harder to stay compliant. Then, scaling barrier. One of the major challenges that is experienced now by organizations who are ahead in this game, that the pilot succeeded, but scaling and across the enterprise has been found to be difficult. This is one space which will be seeing major issues because at this stage, because it's new, everyone is doing their pilot. But can it scale at enterprise level is a challenge. Let's take an analogy of renovating an old house to drive the point here. Imagine trying to renovate your old family house into a modern home. Easier said than done. There are old plumbings and wiring. These are old mess. The pipes are rusty, wires are tangled. You must fix them before adding modern appliances. Similarly, in AI, messy data must be cleaned before model can work well. Second aspect, renovation expense, high cost. It's laying a new foundation, rewiring, fixing leak cost more than expected. In AI, setting up servers, cloud system and skilled teams are costly, expensive. Skill gaps. You don't have enough skilled hands. You need a plumber, electrician, architect, but they are hard to find. Similarly, in AI, there is a shortage of skilled engineer, data scientists, and governance experts. Then there is resistance to the change, family hesitation. Some family members love the old design and don't want to change. Similarly, in AI, employees may fear job loss or just mistrust the AI systems. The next is compliance confusion, like the city building codes. Different neighborhood have different construction rules. Similarly, in AI, different region, whether it could be EU or it could be India or US, they have different compliance requirement that we have to adhere to. Then we have the scaling barrier, like adding new floors. The foundation wasn't designed for expansion in the first place, thus making growth tough. Similarly, in AI, poor initial design makes scaling to enterprise level difficult. A major challenge that would be observed for those organizations who are late in the game or just started off. Key takeaways? Well, laying the AIEA foundation is like renovating an old house. Messy pipes, high cost, scarce skilled workers, family disagreement, confusing city codes, and limits to expansion. But just as renovated house can become modern, safe, and valuable, overcoming these challenges builds AI foundation that are scalable, compliant, and trusted. In summary, the foundation of AIEA rests on a layered, principle driven, standard aligned model that integrates infrastructure, technology, application, information, business strategy, governance, security, and risk. Unlike traditional enterprise architecture, AI enterprise architecture acknowledges the fluid, ethical, and regulatory complexity of AI systems. Establishing these foundations are essential before diving into the specific of each layer, beginning with AI infrastructure architecture, which forms the base of the entire infrastructure stack. We will delve onto this as we move forward in the next part. So, this is the end of part 2. We touched on the introduction in part 1. Now we have touched the foundation of AI enterprise architecture. In part 3, we will move to the next topic of AI infrastructure architecture. Thank you for the time that you have invested till now. This is your host Savit Vittal Salian. Appreciate the time that you invested. Thanking you. Namaskar. See you in part 3.